Hey guys, welcome to my first YouTube video. My name is Sam and I'm a makeup artist of 7 years. Today I'm going to teach you how to do a nice full glam. First, starting off with a moisturized clean face, I'm going to go in with my Fenty Beauty setting powder just to powder up my brows because I do get a little bit oily. Then I'm using my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer in the shade Dark Brunette. I like to underline my brows, overline, and then fill in, because I like a nice natural brow, but I still like it to be a little bit more defined. So in the front of the brow, I'm going to use these like upward strokes, and then when I get towards the end, I like to just apply a little bit more product just so that it has a good shape to it. And then I'm going to brush all of that product out using the end of that brow pencil. And then I'm going to go in with my concealer just to carve my brows. The front half, I'm using Too Faced Born This Way in the shade Chai, and then the second half of the brow, I'm going to use a lighter color just to brighten up that underbrow. And I'm doing the same to the other eye. I like a nice gradient. I don't like that boxy halo look. And then I'm just going to drag that concealer down all over the lid and blend it out with a nice fluffy brush. I'm going in with my Beauty Bay Fiery 2.0 palette and taking that nice like terracotta shade and dusting that underneath my brow. I applied way too much. Normally I'll tap off the excess, but this is what happens when you just go straight in. You apply way too much product, so you're just gonna see me blending that out using like these buffing motions. So this is my transition color. So what this means is this is going to transition into the crease color. So I like to buff that all a little above my brow bone, and then going directly into my nose, like where my nose bridge starts. So after this, we're going to take a nice dark shade. It's going to be a little bit darker than this color, so this is just going to set the tone for the darker color that we use. So this is that nice like plum wine color, and I'm just dusting this all over my lid so that the two colors kind of like marry each other. So the first color is your transition color, and then the second is your crease color. So this is going to serve as our base, and then I'm just going to take that initial brush that we use first to apply that transition color and marry the two, not applying any more products. And then I'm going to take these two like purple brown colors and just apply that a little bit underneath that second color that we use. And then use that brush that we use for that second color just to again marry those two colors. And then I'm taking this like bronzy color and then just patting that in the center of my eyelid. And then I'm using that I think this is Wet n Wild. No, this is NYX. Sorry, this is a NYX pencil. I don't really use this too much just because it's not waterproof and it gets a little bit messy. But this is what I had just to line my under eye. And then I'm using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I love this primer. It's so freaking good and it lasts all day. And then I'm going to use that same Fenty powder and powder the center of my forehead. Now this is where things got tricky. Normally I wear NARS Natural Longwear Radiant Foundation in the shade Macao, but since I got a tan, I use New Caledonia, and then as you can see, it's a little bit too dark, but I'm going to show you how to fix that. Don't worry. So I'm using that concealer that we used, that second shade, just to carve the top of my brow, and then buffing that out with that foundation color. I'm going to show you what to do when your foundation is way too dark. Okay, so listen up. We are using that concealer, that Too Faced concealer in the shade Mocha, and I'm gonna brighten my under eyes, my nose, my chin, and this is the only time where I'll highlight my forehead. Normally I don't highlight my forehead just because I already have a big forehead and I don't want to bring attention to it, but just because my foundation is a little bit too dark today, I'm gonna use that concealer and brighten it up in the center of my face, so it gives that like contour, not really contoured, but like bright under eye at the same time. And then I'm using that same foundation brush just to buff out the edges of that concealer, because it gives a better blend if you were just going back and forth with one brush. So I like to go back and forth between my concealer brush to blend out my under eye, and then use that foundation brush to brush out the edges of the concealer, if that makes sense. So you can see I go back and forth a couple times, and this is how you get that flawless foundation look when you're using more than one product. So I'll use that concealer brush, and then I'll use that foundation brush, and then just go back and forth until I'm satisfied with how it looks. And I'm gonna keep saying this, but I cannot stand where you can see where your concealer starts. So this is me blending in real time, and I edited a lot of this out, but it takes me a while to like blend my foundation, my concealer, and if I was contouring it would take me even longer, but this is how long it takes when you're actually like taking your time and doing your base. Now I'm taking that same Fenty Beauty setting powder. This is in the shade Honey, and I'm just setting that concealer. Everywhere I put concealer, that's where I'm putting this powder. So I use a setting brush first just to get that first layer down, and I'm using very light layers of this powder. Like I'm not going crazy, which is why it doesn't really look like I have anything on. That's exactly what you want. So taking that setting brush first, set down that first layer, and then using a powder puff, I'm setting that second layer. And I like to really press that powder into the skin. I have oily skin, well, combination skin, so I get oily in like my T-zone, and then if you don't set your concealer will move, and especially if you have oily skin, you don't want your concealer moving, creasing, nothing. So I like to go in with a few layers of setting powder, very light layers, and just set everywhere where I know I get oily and everywhere where I put that concealer. Now I'm taking my MAC Burnt Pepper blush. This blush is so pretty, especially on like medium to like deep skin tones. I like it because it's not super pigmented. Sometimes I like to go in with a pigmented blush and don't have to do much, but sometimes I like to build up my blush if I want just like a soft light blush look. I'll use this one because I can build it up. Now I'm using my Anastasia. I think this is the Sun Dipped highlighting palette. This one is so freaking old. They reformulated it and it is not the same. So honestly, I threw out this palette because it just needed to go. But I'm using that first bronzy like gold shade, the one that looks like it's done. Now you can see me, I'm questioning the look because something was missing, and then I realized I needed lashes. So I use these lashes. Honestly, I can't remember where I got them from. I think I got them from Shein, but I wear these lashes like every time I do my makeup. So first I'm lining my lash line with eyelash glue. This is the one from Kiss. This is the secret. Just line it up as if you're using like an eyeliner, and then just pop your lashes on. It doesn't really need any time to dry because the heat from your body is going to activate that glue. This is like my ultimate hack. Like I don't put lash glue on the lashes unless I know I'm going to be out for like hours and hours. And let me know if you guys want a like how to put on your lashes tutorial, because honestly it takes me not even 10 seconds. Like I'm adjusting it here, but it takes me more to adjust than it does to put on the lashes. And then I'm taking that same burgundy shade that we used earlier for our lid and just smudging that underneath my lash line, because I like my eyes to have some depth, and this is how you make your eyeshadow pop. And then I'm just going back and forth using a smudge brush just to make sure that both eyes are even. And then I'm taking this bronzy shade and just putting this in the inner corner of my eye for like an inner corner highlight. Like this is, I'm giving y'all all the gems. Like the small details really make the biggest difference. Then I'm taking my MAC, I think this is called Black Stack mascara, and just coating my lashes with that. This mascara is so good. It's waterproof, it doesn't clump up, and it just gives you the prettiest like bottom lashes. Then I'm going in with my MAC lip liner in Chestnut. If you know, you know. This is like a black girl staple, especially for like dark skin girls, brown skin girls. It is so pretty. The only thing I don't like is it does not last long. Like it's pigmented, it's pretty, it sharpens well, but this does not last. So I'm gonna give y'all a full video on like my MAC lip liner dupes, because I have some that are like half the price and they last way longer. Like the color is so pretty, but the longevity of this liner is just not it. Now, honestly, I wanted that brown, like 90s, like lip look. So I took a Wet n Wild gloss. I got this from at like Five and Below, and just applied that over, and then just blotted my lips together. And then you're gonna see me take another gloss that's like a little bit more shimmery, and then this is the one, and just pop that on top, and it looked so freaking pretty. Like on camera, it looks a little dull, but in person, like my lips had the prettiest, like glittery sheen to it. And then yeah, girl, this looks so good. And then I took two powders. So my Sephora 56 in Mahogany, the micro smooth powder, I used that just to dust off my setting powder, so in the center of my face. And then I took my MAC dark deep powder and then just dust that along the outer perimeter of my face, like where you would normally contour. And then I went back and forth between those two powders and just made sure everything was nice and set and just even. And then I took some brow gel, and this one honestly did, I don't even remember where I got this. I think I got it at like the beauty supply store. I think it might be by NYX, but you know, she's good. It's not like anything to brag about, but it's okay. And then I'm just gonna spray my face down with that Morphe continuous setting spray. Just fan that out, and then take that same powder brush and then just set it again. And then this is the finished look. Like, this came out so good. Let me know what else you guys want to see, and I will see you in the next video. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Bye guys.